Welcome to this tutorial. My name is Daniel, and today you will learn about CSS selectors. So let's see what CSS is all about. Now, for this tutorial, you will need some basic understanding of HTML. But why would you learn CSS if you don't know about HTML? All right. So I'm going to explain to you how CSS works. First of all, CSS works on a selector followed by a curly bracket, and then you can have a property, and then colon and the value, and then finally stopped by a semicolon. So this is a CSS selector, property, and value that you will use. This looks kind of like a JavaScript object, but don't be confused. So all this does is you can list a bunch of properties in here and a bunch of values, and they will all be added to this selector that you have here. All right, so let's check out some basic examples. The most basic selector you'll find is, in fact, this div one. So here you have our HTML example. We have three divs, one with a class, one with an ID, an article, and a section. These will be useful later on. So let's say we have our div. We want to select our div. We open those brackets, and we'll say width of 100 pixels, close it down, height of 100 pixels, down, and now we'll add it a background color of 686. Okay, so let's see what happened. We wanted to select this guy, but look, what's going on? Why is it so high? Like, this should be 100 pixels high, not 300. Why is this happening? Well, let's add some margin to find out. Once we added one EM of margin, which is pretty much just one size of a regular paragraph character, you'll see that these are actually all three divs that I have in my document. Why is that happening? I only wanted to select this guy. Well, this is because this selector div is not very specific. This is unspecific, which means that this will apply to every single div in this document. Okay, so let's see how we can target this guy. Now, notice this guy has a class, so all you have to do is add a dot and then type in the class name. Now, this could be anything. This could be potatoes, in which case that should be potatoes. Let's change it back to my class, not to confuse anyone. So my class, and then of course you need the curly braces again. And let's say that we want the background color to be a little more badass. Okay, so notice a very important thing that happened here. In some cases, or in some programming languages, you'd expect this to now change this background color to this green one, but remove all these properties. That's not happening. This guy is inheriting all the properties and values that apply to it. So this guy gets the div and my class because these two apply to it here. Okay, so then how do we check out our ID? Well, to target an ID, you have to put a hashtag and then my ID. Now, this will probably be more fun for you Instagram geeks. But the thing is, using IDs to apply CSS styles is very, very bad practice. So don't do it, guys. Seriously, don't. Okay, so let's change the background color of this guy to this color that I've just discovered, like Facebook, right? So this is kind of like a pinkish color, and you can see that this changed the color of this div. Now, one more important thing is that why isn't the 666 color staying when it gets applied to the div? This is because selecting by class and by ID are more specific than selecting by just a general HTML tag. And that means that these are here to stay. Okay, so why did we have our article and section here? One more important thing inside CSS that you have to learn is stacking selectors. So you can stack multiple selectors in the same, having the same values and properties, and that will apply to all of them. So let's say that we want these to apply to the article, and we want this to apply to the section. So now the article and the section all get these styles. Isn't that neat? Yes, it is. And this is very important when you want to save up space. You can just reuse code by nicely aligning them like this. Now, a kind of application that I would have this used in is when I create a special class. Let's say I create this special class called, just call it border for now. And let's say this border class will have a border of 1px solid and then let's say BCC. All right, so see that doesn't apply to anything. What if we want to also add a box shadow of 0 pixel, 0 pixel, 1 pixel, 0 pixel, RGBA, 0, 0, 0, 0, 15. You don't have to know what this is all about. This is just a very little subtle box shadow, but we can make it larger like this so that you guys will see. And then what I want to do is I want to say that I want all these divs to have that. Oh, you might notice this kind of thing in here, but you're not seeing it because our divs do not have any height or width. So let's add that. So say width will be 100 pixels again, and then height will be 100 pixels again. And now you'll see that these guys kind of have that border color. Let's add a background color of white. Wow, I always misspell this. So background of white, and you'll notice these now appear. Let's also add some margin of EM. And these are coming nicely together. I'm going to expand these a little bit so that they are more visible on your screen, and you'll see that these three divs all inherit the style from this. Okay, let's make it something more visual like red. So oops, what I'm talking about. See, these now all have a 1 pixel solid red border. This is because the class.border and div both inherit this property. Okay, let's make this 5 so it's more visible. Let's make this 10. So you can see that this now gave these guys a little bit of depth. Now, what if we want to also have our articles to have this? Well, we'll stack them on. So let's say that our article will now have that background, but our article is not showing here. So let's add that here as well. Okay, so here's our article. It appeared. See, we have 4 kind of things here. So let's say the section, and let's see this for a section as well. And we have 5 of these appearing here. Okay, check out my next lesson for some more advanced CSS selectors. It's been Daniel. Check me out on www.tipslog.com. And if you like this tutorial, you can subscribe. I don't really care. Have fun. See you guys.